This section will be panel discussion 6, Uncover the Eco-Material. What does eco-material mean? Should eco-materials be defined on a scientific base, carbon emission, or other assessment throughout the entire product life cycle? What are the views of eco-materials from the material suppliers, brands, ESG advocates, and verification organizations? Let's explore. To begin, may I invite our moderator, Professor Joanne Yip, Associate Dean of School of Fashion and Textile, Hong Kong Polytechnic University. And our speakers, Ms. Zidi Chen, Founder and Creative Director of Meta. Ms. Denise Ng, Head of Softlines, Connectivity and Products, SGS, Hong Kong Limited. Mr. Francis Tsang, Co-Founder, ChromeFree Leather Alliance. Mr. Jason Wang, VP of Asia, Apparel, the LYCRA company. To come on stage for the panel discussion, Professor Yip and all speakers, please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's a really nice weather outside. And today's sessions, everyone interested to know about eco-materials. So I'm the moderators. I make sure that I will ask some questions that I'm interested and you or all of you also interested. So before we ask any question, let me start to ask them to introduce themselves. Maybe start from Edie? Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is Edie, founder and creative director of Matter. And we are a startup. We're just going to be very honest, but we focus on next generation materials in terms of vertical application. That's how we differentiate ourselves from some of the bigger next gen platforms.
Hi, everybody. I'm Denise from SGS Hong Kong Limited. As you may know, SGS is a verifying company. We're glad here to contribute to the discussion of eco-material. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Francis. I'm co-founder of ChromeFree Leather Alliance. We educate and bring awareness of innovative tanning solutions and connect the global brands with our sustainable leather suppliers. Thank you.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Jason Wang. I'm the Vice President of the LYCRA company. We are a company that produce and supply the spandex and polyester to the textile industry, and we also provide the innovative solution to the industry.
Okay, so thank you, all the speaker. So I think you read the speaker profile. That's why you're here also. I'm going to ask the first question. Well, before that we go into detail, I think everyone will have your own mindset that what's actually the eco-materials. If you look for the dictionary, the eco, this name is very broad, okay? So I would like every speaker to give maybe 1 or 2 sentences of what's are the eco-material mean to you? Maybe we start from Jason?
Okay, the sequence changed.
Yes.
So for me, I think for the company, eco-material, like you said, is a very broad concept. So for LYCRA company, actually, it means 3 things. The first one is the decarbonization, which will minimize the impacts on the environment. The second is the sustainability. Sorry, it's not sustainability, it's the durable. We produce the products as more durable as possible to maximize the lifespan of the garment. And the third one is the recycle.
Okay.
So one of my best quote is, being naked is the most sustainable option.
Being naked, okay.
So I have 3 elements, okay, we'd like to share: traceable, compostable, and also responsible. I'm a leather man, so I would like to use these 3 elements to measure.
Thank you, Francis.
My definition is rather simpler. For any materials and its production process that lessen the environmental impact qualifies to be called a eco material.
Less environmental
Less than, yes, yes.
less environmental impact. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And then
And I would love to expand upon this. It's about less impact for sure, but not only production, not only when it enters the production process, is all the way from agriculture, or some materials in our case that we are in touch with, they start the material from lab. So from the second it starts, so whether it's a seed or it's a plant, all the way till when it returns back to earth,
okay.
the entire life cycle, and that includes a long journey, and we need less impact on every single step of that journey.
Okay, seems to be journey is more important. Yeah, so I think all speakers give their definition. Well, of course, we want to understand more about their statement. So I'm going to ask maybe Francis first. Okay, Francis first. So because leather seem to be a lot of conversation that whether leather is eco materials. He also gave a free criteria that his definition. So maybe Francis, can you tell us pros and cons whether leather is an ethical and sustainable for fashion? Okay, ethical and sustainable. So what's your view?
Well, honestly, okay, we have to educate to the designer, creator, and consumer that, okay, we don't call the slaughterhouse to kill the animal. We are taking the byproduct of the meat industry. We are an upcycling service industry. We would like to say this, okay, if the population becomes 100% vegetarian, I think leather industry should be disappear. But if we are still consume beef, and we should have the tanning. Of course, we have to become a more sustainable tanning system. So I would like to share a video, okay, to educate or to inspire the people, okay, what is sustainable leather?
Okay, so could you please share them? Yeah. I hope we didn't block your view.
For thousands of years, leather has helped humans survive some of nature's harshest conditions. Over the centuries, the production of leather has evolved significantly. It's always been made from a byproduct, which is sustainable in itself. Today, with consumers increasingly demanding chrome-free leather, it's time to revolutionize leather tanning. We are setting a new standard in sustainable leather, and we call it zeology. Let me take you through the science and chemistry behind the zeology tanning concept. It is the only chrome-free tanning alternative that is more sustainable and offers better leather performance. Tanning with zeology all starts out with zeolite, a combination of alumina, silicon sand, and oxygen, elements which are all abundantly present in the Earth's crust. As zeolite is formed, the three materials form a network structure. We then modify the zeolite into a functionalized and aggregated structure to make it suitable as a tanning agent. Before starting the actual tanning, the hide needs to be prepared. Hair, fats, and proteins are removed, and the fibers are opened up to optimize the uptake of the zeology tanning agent into the collagen. The actual tanning takes place inside a drum with a water float that's been modified for tanning. When the collagen is properly prepared, we add zeology into the mix. The aggregated zeolite structures are dispersed into smaller particles. The patented treatment of the zeolite in zeology ensures that the level of dispersion is optimal to prepare it for the next step in tanning. The optimally dispersed zeology tanning agent penetrates into the hides reaching even the smallest collagen fibrils. Thanks to the modification of zeology, it distributes evenly throughout the collagen. To start the actual tanning, zeology has to be activated by adding activation agents to the water flow, as this increases the pH level. The dispersed zeology particles become more active towards the collagen, and they start to form a network. Zeology then covers the collagen fibers with a fixed and stable zeolite network. This is the point where zeology tanning is complete. What started out as a hide is now transformed into tan leather, which we call zeo white, containing mainly collagen and zeolite. Both components are not harmful to the environment. The intermediate zeo white is now ready to be processed to become a leather that can be used for anything from a handbag to a car seat. Now you see why zeology is truly revolutionizing the age-old tanning process. With this sustainable tanning concept, we are no longer dwelling on the past, but taking leather into the future.
Okay, so it's a high-tech technology, and then turn all kinds of leather. Well, can you explain a little bit?
Well, we used to process from animal hides to leather. Okay, we use a lot of water, energy, and chemicals. But with this innovative tanning solution, okay, we can tan leather with less water, and we make sure that, okay, it's a cradle to cradle, because the leather products, for example, shoes and handbags, okay, can be easily, okay, going back to the industrial composting process, okay, and then become fertilizer. So this is our main, okay, mindset, okay. It's a game changer tanning system.
Okay, so thank you, Francis. So I guess this is not a synthetic leather. This is natural leather, but the process is more eco-friendly.
Correct. Okay. Actually, it's good for the pet food.
Okay, thank you. So Jason, your turn. Many people, I think all of us, using LYCRA spandex product. If you have the sportswear, okay, legging, all kinds of spandex. So spandex, LYCRA, okay, these kinds of elastomeric materials, people always criticize it is not biodegradable. So not biodegradable. Have your company or your team done anything to make it more sustainable?
Yeah, here I have to defend for the spandex industry or the synthetic fiber industry, because I have 3 points to make here. The first one is non-degradable doesn't equal to non-sustainable. I think these are two different concepts, because the sustainability is a very broad concept. It has many different perspectives related to sustainability. So, for example, the greenhouse gas emission is one perspective. Air pollution, soil pollution, and also the energy efficiency is all related to sustainability. So I think it's a very broad concept. So we can say, well, it's non-degradable means, well, it's not sustainable. So this is the first. And the second is I know that there are a lot of designers and garment makers, and also the downstream customer came here. So basically, the first question come to us when we promote our products to our customer is, well, what's the first priority when you choose a product? Will you choose the yarn? Will you choose the fabric? Then, like you said, in activewear world, in the intimate world, and basically the first thing that comes to our mind when we choose the products, when we choose the raw material, is that functional? Is that material can meet our requirements? So this is the first. And second, when we choose the material, we consider the other pillars supporting the sustainability. So this is the second. Third one related to our company's plan agenda and also our sustainability concept. So I have 2 pages to show here.
Okay, so could you please show our PowerPoint?
So this is all related to our plan agenda. So I think the foundation of our plan agenda is that is the corporate responsibility, which is related to our carbon decarbonization, and also manufacturing excellence, in which that we reduce our carbon emission and also improve our energy efficiency. And the last one, we talked about our products sustainability, which means, well, how long the product can sustain, because the spandex actually by natural, it will lose the power. When we use it more, the power will get loose and loose. So then basically we emphasize that how durable our product is, that it can sustain to maximize the lifespan of the garment. So this is the decarbonization of our, the target of our company. Then basically everyone knows SBTi, which is a science-based target initiative. And we have a very ambitious carbon emission target by 2030. So for Scope 1 and Scope 2, our target is to reduce 50%. And for Scope 3, our target is to reduce 25%. So this is very aggressive targets in terms of the carbon emission. And this is the three things I mentioned in the first question. So we start from a very so-called the green raw materials in the manufacturing process. Edie just mentioned that, well, it's not kind of only related to the manufacturing excellence. Basically, we have our first bell-derived LYCRA fiber in the world in a scalable production. So we are working with the company called Cargill in the U.S. So they got a very huge cornfield in the U.S. in Ohio. So we leverage their dense corn production capacity and work with them to have a kind of a bell-derived raw material for LYCRA fiber. So this product will be available in the third quarter, fourth quarter of 2025. And the bell content in the bell-derived LYCRA fiber is like 70%. And in this way, we can reduce the carbon emission by 44%. So this is the very initial stage when we talk about the decarbonization of our products. And the second phase, you see that's durable fibers. That is what I taught just now. We would like to improve our quality of the fiber to make the stretch fiber as durable as possible. And finally, we talk about the recycle, because it's to tell the truth, it couldn't be a cradle just like leather, because it's a synthetic fiber. So what we can do is that we have to recycle it. We have the good raw material, we made the good fiber, and we hope that we can close the loop. But of course, it's a kind of a long journey, because fabric recycle is easy, because we collect fabric panels from the garment making facilities. We can recycle, we can segregate the fibers, we can recycle the fiber. But for garment, it's very, very complicated, because if you look at your garment, how many components your garment has. So it's very difficult, it's challenging work to segregate the different parts of the garment. It's a kind of a systematic work. So it will involve a lot of, it's a huge amount of the resource investments, money investment, human resource investment. So it's kind of a systematic work. So it's a long journey. But what we can do is that from the fabric panel, and we have started work, and I believe that this will be realized very soon.
Okay, I think it's good to hear that a big company, large company, pay the social responsibility. As long as you really spend, invest, and try to make your product, like as you said, more durable, less carbon emission, I think, yeah, we all need spandex, this kinds of material as a product. So, okay, thank you, Jason. Denise, your turn. Okay, as a researcher, or many companies actually invest a lot to produce eco materials, right? So what do you need to show the brand, to show your customer is this are really eco materials? As a verifying company, do you have any standard? Do you like what kinds of tests or criteria that eco material should have?
Thank you, Joanne. Rather saying that it is criteria or standard, we'll say that it provides guideline or framework for all the stakeholders along the supply chain to achieve their sustainability goals. Going back to our definition of eco material, every material or its process that reduce the environmental impact qualifies as eco-material? If in this sense, then we can answer the question in 2 angles or 2 levels. First of all, is specific claim or a specific function, like the mill suppliers, the raw material providers, they always come to us and saying that they need to verify this material or fiber. And we also see clients coming in saying that, okay, this is made from banana or made from cactus, made from mushroom. Can you verify that? Of course, in different markets, there are different requirements. And our mission is to make sure that the market they go in, the products are well communicated to the consumers because it comply with the market, and also they understand what's being claimed on their product. And second thing is that we need to make sure that they could put the sustainability goals into action, and that's why what we are doing is like this. And the second thing, beside the material level, we also do chemical verification. Of course, we think that this is not new to many of us here. REACH regulations appeared like 20 years ago, so everybody doing the SVHCs. So this is nothing new. The recent trend is like people more concerned on the PFAS, on the finishings, and the dyeing method, like tanning method, chromium 6, more concerned on particular chemicals. But the technology itself is nothing new. And maybe newer trends or more people talking about is the carbon emission. Then this is on the specific area. The greenhouse gas emission, how to calculate your carbon and how to reduce it. Do you need to buy credentials or do whatever things? This is the first angle that we see it. And the second angle, then we would like to share the PowerPoint here, if possible. Thank you. Okay. So this, I just try to demonstrate how varied claim or interpretations of eco-material means to different stakeholders in the supply chain. So here, this is something new that we would like to introduce here in this panel, is the circular economy concept, which is just put into force this year, July, in the EC. And as you can see, and it echoes to what Edie just add on, is we consider the eco-material, the whole process, instead of only particular efforts of the suppliers. You see in the left-hand side is the concept of circular economy. It starts from the material sourcing, raw material sourcing, and also they're concerned about the sustainable design, which is really new or put into the whole framework or the economy of our fashion industry. And then the production, distribution, and then at the underneath, maybe you're not able to see it clearly. It is about the consumption, the reuse, and repair. And then the collection of the waste and the collection of the unsold products, how to destroy it, is also taken into consideration under this circular economy. And then the waste management and residue rates just mentioned about. So putting into context, actually in EU, they just passed the Eco Design for Sustainable Products Regulation, ESPR, and I think that this is really meaningful because like different stakeholder or mills or producers, actually they have different concern and difficulties on their products when they go innovation as well as putting eco or environmental friendly into their supply chain. And I think that this framework is more comprehensive or inclusive to everybody. It aims to significantly improve sustainability of products placed on EU markets specifically for this regulation, improving their circularity, energy performance, recyclability, and durability. And they also come up with a tool or how to make it happen is called product environmental footprint. We call product carbon footprint, if you have heard about that for some time, and now we are considering not only the carbon but also the overall environmental impact. This slide also show more specifically all areas that included in this circular economy. And I think that all the stakeholders, no matter you are a mill, a producer, or a manufacturer, even the brands or retailers, or as a verifying company, it is a good framework for us to see that every effort counts, like what we mentioned in the morning section. If you would like your effort to be counted and show to your buyer or the end customers, I think that this framework is really useful. You can find little pieces that you can tap into and then do your own part. So we collaborate together instead of finger pointing, right? And so just advertisement time. In SGS, we support both approaches. You see, we provide a holistic and also specific claims to customer needs, and we are excited to see clients coming in, giving us new ideas, innovative ideas, as long as they are also supporting the sustainability initiative. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Denise. I think advertisement is okay, always welcome. If you earn more, you spend more on the environmental, okay? So that's the concept. Another speaker, she has an interesting journey. She's very young, and then she has her own startup, but she would like to tell us more about herself, about her journey. So I have a challenge question for Edie. You are working on sustainable material innovation, like I do in university, but you are more already on the market. So any outcome you believe will make a positive change, like what you are doing, and you believe the positive change will come in 1 or 2 months or years? Yeah.
It's a, well, actually, I would like to begin with an interesting statement that connects to this. Recently, I read a book, and there's a really radical quote from the book, which is, "There is no sustainable material." If maybe we say equally saying there's no eco material. It all depends on how you use it. It all depends on the pre and the after of it. That's the most radical, and it was written by a material innovator. I think that was the most honest and radical, but also true statement that I've seen in a long time. But so that gives us the context of the whole conversation that we're having, and I think for us is, we not only do one material, we are all about vertical application, and we go horizontal and we go vertical. So we don't not only deal with elastane or spandex, or leather or natural fiber. We go all across. And I will answer with by saying that one thing that I would really like to see is for companies to understand there's no ready-made solutions when it comes to eco-materials. And I'm saying it towards luxury groups, big corporations, as well as independent designers. So you're asking me what I would like to see as a change, or what kind of support that I would need or like to see, is for people to understand that. And as difficult as or as complex as eco-material or sustainability is, I think it's not only about materials. This statement goes across everything that falls under the whole sustainability umbrella. And that's how, and I'm now really regretting that I did not submit my PowerPoint, that we operate within this field of not only finding the solutions for a designer or a big corporate brand, but to make it happen vertically. And in terms of the next generation alternative or sustainable materials that we are looking at, it really takes that valley of death to become successful for both brands, for designer as well as for material innovators, big and small. And we're trying to cross and trying to close that valley of death. So not exactly answering the question, but it has a lot of what I want to say and what our company, Matter, sort of operates within the language. Yeah.
Sure. Well, as we don't need to write definition in the dictionary. Okay, if you type eco-material, you can Google, you can AI, you get a plenty of answer. So I guess the conversation is you talk more, you will get more understanding. Just like I always think that leather is this, but when you listen, someone saying that, you understand that more. Okay, so I think this is good to have more reflection on understanding on this big topic. So I'm going to not give the definition, but maybe ask more challenge questions. So a lot of you are taking a luxury brands, expensive bags, handbags here, okay? So maybe let me ask you something about more about this topic. Quite a lot of luxury fashion. People say that they are made of non-eco, non-sustainable, non-something materials. So talk about the luxury versus sustainability. Well, can you give us your comment? Maybe again, we start from Jason.
Yeah, it's very difficult and challenging for me to comment luxury brand because the cooperation between luxury brand and LYCRA is very limited.
Now some expensive activewear use your.
My perspective is that for luxury brand, actually their physical impact on the whole ecosystem is also very limited because the volume is very small. So for me, I think the luxury brands impact a person in a mindset perspective. So if the luxury brands actually they are promoting the the way, I mean the eco way of life, then basically I think the people will follow.
Okay.
And the real impact on the ecosystem is the so-called ultra fast fashion brand. I read many reports talking about the fast fashion brand. Previously we talked about fast fashion brand. Now we talk about ultra fast fashion brand. And it's very interesting perspective. In one article, they talk about how they impact the recycle business of the fashion in the fashion industry, because the rack trading people actually they are not making a big money on the recyclability itself. Actually, they make money in the second-hand clothing market. Because when they collect all the garments, actually they will pick the good quality garment and sell in second-hand market, and basically in this way they can make more money in terms of the waste recycle and waste disposal. So the ultra fast fashion make the garments, the quality of the garment much poorer than before. So in this way, the people can collect a huge amount of the garment, but they can't pick so-called the cream of the cake. And the cherry on the top of the cake. So I think in this way, actually, their profit is less than before, which demotivates them to be part of the recycle business. So I think this is the side effect of the ultra fast fashion business, and let alone the cost control of such the brands. They press the cost of the garments. They use the cheap raw materials, and people have to throw out the garment away because it's worn out in maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I think this is a big impact on the overall ecosystem when you talk about ultra fast fashion brand, other than the luxury brand. They impacted people in different ways.
Okay, thank you. Then luxury brands use a lot of leather. So Francis.
Absolutely, leather is luxury, and I witness more and more global brands like LVMH they are buying tanneries. So far, I understand that they own 9 tanneries, including one crocodile tannery in Singapore. So I think they will be more responsibly sourcing, ethically sourcing leather. I think leather is a wonderful material. I really agree with one of the speakers mentioned about agriculture. We need regenerative agriculture. We need beef. We need animal collagens. We cannot. Without eat, there will be no leather. If you know how to spell leather, okay? So I still want to, you guys understand, okay? Buy less, choose well, buy leather.
Okay, well, actually,
Thank
I
you.
got some audience question about you two, so leave some time for another speaker first. Okay, Denise.
Okay, this is a very interesting question. Luxury adheres with quality, craftsmanship, and sometimes with their culture, their heritage as well, the brand heritage as well. And I'm not sure how this question come in, but we see that many so-called luxury brands try to tap into sustainable materials or sustainability movement recent years because of the spotlight of sustainability in the whole world. So we are positive to see there could be coexistence here. And when I think of this question, I also see that as a fact, mainly luxury brands are more sustainable business than the others. So I do think that they will survive to find their ways to survive under the sustainable,
Yeah, of
idea.
course. First, survive. Yeah, especially the economic situation, we know that it's very challenging. So survive, but at the same time, really take this responsibility. The earth belongs to all of us. Yeah, how about you? Yeah, Didi?
I'm just going to say one thing. Prior to my career now, I was always in media and specifically fashion media, and I've worked with every single luxury brand. And when it comes to luxury and sustainability, when these two words are together, if you ask the luxury brands themselves, they would say, we are sustainable by definition because it's longevity. It's about durability, it's about longevity, it's about lasting. Ask ourselves how many luxury brands will put last or lasting to their campaign or to their products or to their DNA. So I definitely agree that in some ways that they are more sustainable than fast fashion or ultra fast fashion for sure. And they are also, in a way, that's what fashion does, which is leading a certain lifestyle and image and universe. And they're good at shaping that universe. At the same time, they're also the ones that are under the spotlight of policy. EU policy. Last year, the EU policy of like you cannot burn, or we were talking about it with Francis, you cannot burn or bury or destroy inventory. And now even the Chinese in-house teams of these brands are struggling with coming up with solutions when they have inventory in China. So they're the first like sort of a target, when it comes to policy, when it comes to that.
Yeah, can I add one point that reminds me, the circular economy that we just mentioned about. If we only focus on the material it used, it may not be that definition qualified. But if we look at the whole circular economy, then the luxury brands always be the one to popular in the second-hand market, like the reuse, repair, and also how it circulate in the consumer, among the consumer or among the markets. I think this is one of the point about the durability, the longevity. This is one of the angles that in a sense, it is sustainable.
Okay, thank you. Well, I got quite challenging questions. When you have the new process, new materials, people always say, how do you prove that? So this question comes from Anonymous. Okay, the person who actually quite curious about, this is ChromeFree, this is this and that, very nice video, any scientific data. How do you claim that you use less water, less energy, less harmful to environment?
Come to SGS.
Yeah.
Well, there's a project by Puma. They're using Zeology leather together with new TPR material, and they conduct a survey, and made 500 pairs and asked, 500 German people to wear for 6 months so that make sure the shoes are durable, and then send back to the industrial composting factory, and it turned out okay fertilizer. So I fully agree that if the topic today is about eco-material, but we also need to think about how to design the product, I think we consume the material, by all means, fast fashion is terrible, but we also, on the other hand, profitable, we need to be profitable. So in order to defend leather, again, leather, is tanning from hides, and skins, and we take the raw material from the meat industry. We don't create the killing. So I have to say that, we also seriously need to inspire and educate the designer and creator and the global brands, how to use material carefully and responsibly.
Okay, well, I think as a moderator, I should also say something about the fast fashion, ultra fashions, because maybe some brands here. Okay, I guess that's really a market need. That do some people that they pay affordable price. They want something fashion. People like fashion. So affordable price that they can buy fashion. Well, you cannot eliminate fast fashion, ultra fast fashion brand. It's how they can, at the same time survive as the luxury brand, but they do, they also have their responsibility to do their own work. I think that would be more fair to say that. So due to the time limits, I think it's time for us to wrap up. Today, we stay here, we sit together, we are exploring what is the eco-materials. So as a professor in PolyU, eco-materials is, I would tell my students, something that more eco-friendly, right? But today seem to be, we have better understanding. I recap some keyword. We want to have more durable material. If you can use for a long, long time, that can be eco-material. Not just recyclable, being can be like fertilizer, go back to the earth, cradle to cradle is also one point that we also need to consider. This is eco-material. Be responsible, and we also care about the whole process. So the process, less carbon, I like the word carbon neutral. We need energy to do everything, right? We have to produce a lot of waste, pollute environments. However, we do something good and then make the carbon neutral. That's also a good point too. So in the summary, I think all here together attend the Fashion Summit. We really have we want to do something for our future, our next generation. As a scientist, I encourage continue to do more research to make things more eco-friendly, more recyclable or whatever, less harmful to the environment. As a brand, as a designer, we try our best to design something more durable, can be used for a longer time. So as a consumer, we check about whether the brands really pay for, they earn a lot of money from us, they should do something, right? So as a conclusion, I think we appreciate Fashion Summit to have this opportunity for all of us here. So welcome any question after we finish this session to all the speakers. I really, really thankful. Before this talk, before the summit, I actually individually talked to them. So they explained very well. It's also let me know, as a teacher in university, our responsibility to teach our students is not just give them a definition. It's give them a room to think more. As a future leader, our future generation, they should also take the lead. Thank you very much for all of you attend today's session.
Thank you, Professor Yip, and all speakers. Please remain on stage for taking group photos.